talking about directed energy weapons. And again, they even have had news broadcasts recently talking about these directed energy weapons and how the government has these. They are openly admitting to having this technology that was once deemed a conspiracy years ago when people tried to point this out when the stuff happened in Maui. And now we are seeing it happen in multiple different areas now. Case in point, Spokane. I mean, come on. It is right out in the open. And I guarantee you there was a form of dues involved, because you know how these people love to do these land grabs, especially with all of these data centers that they want to put up in these different places. So I believe that there is something more to all of this. But check out this news broadcast where they talked about these DEWs.
Secretary of War Hegseth just got a live demonstration of directed energy weapons. He says the Pentagon intends to buy tens to hundreds of these in the coming years. It's the first known viewing of a directed energy weapon demonstration by a sitting war secretary. So what are they? Directed energy weapons fire concentrated energy at the speed of light. And for years, intelligence officials working abroad have reported brain injuries known as Havana syndrome. The condition could be linked to directed energy weapons. And earlier this week, we spoke to Emmy Award-winning investigative journalist Catherine Herridge, and she says the domestic threat is very real. Take a look.
But I think this idea that there aren't domestic attacks and that they haven't targeted civilians is just not correct. It's not borne out by the evidence. And again, the trend that I'm seeing is that the cadence of attacks inside the United States, I think, has escalated. My information is only anecdotal, but I do believe that the 4 years under the Biden administration where we said there's nothing to see here, there's no novel weapon, there's no foreign adversary, I think this was a tremendous disservice and emboldened those who are behind it.
Mazda, named the safest new car brand by
behind it.
Joining us now, former Top Gun Navy fighter pilot Matthew Wiz Buckley and South Pole whistleblower Eric J. Hecker. Great to see you both. So, Eric, you know, Catherine told us also that she has heard potentially there are these attacks that have happened outside the executive office building in Washington, D.C., which is right next to the White House. So for many people who don't understand what these weapons do and they're freaked out by them, how do they work?
You would say it's an extension of Tesla technology, the ability to move energy from point A to point B without the conventional means of, warheads and things like that. A standard weapon delivers an explosion, but through a conventional means. It's a payload. So instead of having the conventional method of delivery, directed energy weapons just deliver that explosive force sometimes from point A to point B wirelessly. That's one method. Directed energy weapons is a very large umbrella term. So make no mistake, it's a varied arsenal.
And speaking of directed energy weapons, look at this right here. This was a post by a account associated with the government, associated with the Department of War. And it is very interesting. They posted this around the same time as what is going on in Spokane. It is just very interesting, almost as if they are telling you without telling you truth in plain sight, because we all know how these people love to show you. We all know how these people love to mock every single time. And this is no different in my honest opinion. Firmly, I believe that there were dues involved. That's just my honest opinion, but maybe there's not. Maybe it was just all a result of arson attacks. Maybe that's what it was. But firmly, I believe that there was dues involved. That's just my honest opinion, and it's just my opinion. That's what it is. Maybe you have a different opinion entirely when it comes to all of this, but from my vantage point, I really do believe that there is something more nefarious going on here, because again, it reminds me of Maui. It truly does when you look at everything, when you see how things are in Spokane currently. And I know I can't be the only one out there that is reminded of Maui when you begin to look at these images. They are going with the story that there is a man that has been arrested that has apparently been involved in arson in Spokane. But I really do believe that this is just a cover story, because the government is already out in the open admitting to the fact that they have directed energy weapons. Again, remember, This was a conspiracy theory not too long ago, right? About these DEWs, right? When people started to put the pieces of the puzzle together, you know, about certain things happening and how it didn't look right and how it looked unnatural and how some stuff was left standing like trees, but other stuff was left untouched. Specifically in Maui, the color blue was left untouched. So when people started to put the pieces of the puzzle together, they seen things for what they are. Again,